Hey guys, America is at war right now, whether you believe it or not. We're being invaded on our southern border. Our police are being attacked in every city across the country. We have leftists that are protecting criminals and advocating for the defunding of police, for the defunding of our border patrol. I'm walking in a dry riverbed, it's actually a canal here, in the Central Valley of California. It's smoky everywhere around me. This riverbed, this canal should be full of water right now, but it's not, because of the same enemies that are attacking our border, that are attacking our police, that are attacking our timber harvesters and our job creators. I had the opportunity recently to go down to the border. And of course, as always, guys, do me a favor, share this video. Share this video on all your platforms. I had the opportunity to go down to the border and interview Border Patrol agent, supervisor down there, on what's going on at the border about the wall. I want you guys to see that video, but I want you to understand everything that we're dealing with right now, everything that we're going through right now is the same enemy. We are in a battle of good versus evil. 2020, you have a choice to make. Do you stand for good or do you stand for evil? Take a look at this interview. Invite your friends to stand up. Join the fight. This has been Bergquam for America's Voice News. Stand up. Thank you for taking the time and bringing us out here today.
Absolutely.
It's Vinny Dulesky.
Yes.
All right. I want to make sure I get that right. So we have this newest section of wall. How long is it now, the wall that's being built in this sector? And how long is the border sector in the Yuma sector?
We have 126 miles of border within the Yuma sector. Right now we have about 100 miles slated to be constructed, and we're around 75 miles completed of that 100 miles.
So was there any walls prior to this last year in this sector?
There was. And you kind of got to look at the history, of what we've done here in Yuma. All the way back in 2005, we were getting 139,000 apprehensions. And it was estimated we were only catching half of those.
Just in that section?
Just in our AOR, in the entire AOR. A lot of it was down in San Luis, where we had just barbed wire fences, the chain link fences, stuff like that. So what we did, and as Bush came down, and we had the Secure Fence Act of 2006. We just took whatever we could. We had Vietnam landing mat, right? And we had
basically a ladder that you climb over. Yeah.
So, and we started building an infrastructure. With the National Guard and with whatever we could weld together. That's what we made our infrastructure with. We realized we didn't have enough to do the whole entire border, so we did we put together what could face the threat. So in such as an area like this, all we had was metal pieced together like a Normandy barrier.
Basically, so vehicles
couldn't come through. This was a heavy area for vehicles, and you wouldn't think that because it's really, harsh terrain, especially with a river behind us. However, they'd put sandbags under the water where we couldn't see them. They knew where they were at, and they'd drive right over them. And then, so when we put that infrastructure in place in 2005, we had 139,000 apprehensions, and we had 2,700 drive-throughs. 2,700. If you did, that's unfathomable. Just cars driving through the border. So when the infrastructure was in place. Fast forward now, when it was all completed, 2007, 2009, all that, our apprehensions dropped to 12,000. Our drive-throughs dropped from 2,700 to 10.
So we hear all the time people saying different media and individuals saying that walls don't work.
Right.
What is your message to them?
I can't speak for other sectors. I can only speak for Yuma sector, but I can tell you that in Yuma sector, with everything I just told you, walls do work. That was the only variable there.
That's the only thing that changed.
That's the only thing that changed. We did up our manpower quite a bit, but we did have to make the apprehensions, stuff like that.
I have heard how that COVID now is playing into it too, though. You're able to send people back where before you had to bring them in, you had to process them, give them a court date.
Right.
Talk to us a little bit about that, what the situation is.
Well, we're exercising Title 42, and that's basically keeping our agents safe, keeping the workforce safe, and what we're basically doing is returning them back to where they came from. So if they came from Mexico, we do a quick registration process, figure out who they are. If they're not a hardened criminal or anything like that, then we go ahead and send them back to Mexico.
Which it's kind of a double edge. It helps get them back there, but I also hear there's a bit of a revolving door now because you can't prosecute.
Yep, you get a little bit of a recidivism in there, and but that's what we were getting in 2005 as well.
Yeah.
Because it was a rotating door. We were putting them back, and each time they crossed, that was a new entry. So and an agent, it wouldn't be weird for him to see the same guy 3 times come through in his shift. So yeah.
Talk to me about what's looking forward. American sovereignty, border sovereignty. What is it you need? What is it you anticipate seeing in these next months and years to be able to secure this border? Drug trafficking, cartel activity.
Mm-hmm. Before I get into that, we could build this wall, 80 feet high and 50 feet down below, and have all the technology and everything. This is going to help us enforce our border security. However, it's not going to fix the problem.
Right.
Legislation is ultimately going to fix that problem.
So I know one of the things, the magnets that we have here in America that continue to draw people. You get across the border, then you get welfare and healthcare and all of these things. Is that the kind of legislation you're talking about, or something else?
Well, and more of enforcing the laws we already have. Just giving us the tools to be able to force those laws, to make those penalties stick, and that it makes a deterrent. That the only way to come here is legally.
Ending sanctuary policy.
Absolutely. But as far as border security, we're seeing it. People say, well, the wall, we could be spending our money on something else. If we want something that works, I think right here in Yuma, we're proof that this is working. We need a combination. We need this. We need technology. We need manpower. We get a lot of you can buy more cameras. You can we can watch people cross all day long. But if we don't have the manpower to get them, it's useless.
Yeah.
They get to the highway, they get out, and they get lost and into the population. What this wall does for us is it slows that activity down and gives us enough time to work it, so that, if they're cutting it, that's fine. We're going to know they're cutting it. If they're digging under it, we have the technology to know if they're going to be digging under this wall here. And if they're climbing over it, well, it's going to take them some time to do that, and we're going to be on the other side when they come back.
I do have to say, I love the height of the wall now. Right. I've been to a lot of the other ones, like you were saying, the aircraft landing mats where, you just hop over that in a second. This one, I'm an adventure seeker, and I look at this, I'm like, I don't want to fall off that thing. This is a deterrent, unlike most of them.
Absolutely. There was some studies done, Johns Hopkins University, where, what is that height? What is that magical height that people will get to and say, nah, I'm not even going to chance it? And it was somewhere around 26 and a half feet. So we built ours to 30 and put a little extra on it. Right?
I love it. I love it. The icing on the top of the cake.
Absolutely.
And then with the anti-climb barriers or the pieces on top, I've actually heard from some agents that some of the people are still able to get up there, the most athletic. I mean, that would be something to see, honestly. Yes. I look at that, I'm like, I would almost pay to watch somebody do that and then, send them back. But, but you're actually still seeing some people getting over these.
Right. What we're not seeing is the family units, so that has completely stopped that. And we do get some of those hard chargers that, they'll get up there and they'll climb on up, get the other side, but probably the last 3 or 4 instances have resulted in broken ankles, broken legs, stuff like that. So really don't advise trying it. Don't
try this here. I was going to say don't try this at home.
Right, don't try it here. It's you're going to get hurt.
Yeah. So what about as far as drug traffic, the cartels? This is one of those things people don't understand. This we have this move in America. Some people pushing for open borders, and they don't understand that open borders is basically just it's what the cartels want.
Right.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
It's what we're seeing here is the prices of, meth, cocaine, it's going up. And that tells us we're doing something, So it could be a little bit of, now they can't get it past the normal areas that they were getting it past. We're seeing an increase in our checkpoints for seizures there. So, with open borders, all that stuff, we just last week we got a fentanyl seizure that was enough to probably kill off the entire Phoenix area.
Wow.
And so we got that off the streets. Who knows, if we missed any, what have you, but we got that amount off the streets. If we had open borders, sky's the limit, right?
Yeah.
Everybody would have access to it.
And it's not just that, it's sex trafficking, human trafficking, child smuggling.
Absolutely.
We found condoms, lubricant, that sort of, how much of that do you guys see? And there's all kinds of nonsense out there talking about putting kids in cages. And how many children's lives are you saving, or were you saving before this? I know that amount of traffic's decreased, but.
I can't tell you, what the crimes were, were going to be committed once they got here. But, like I said, at our prime, we were getting an average of 450 a day. 80% of that was probably children. And, so for us to...
and a large number of those unaccompanied or with people that weren't their families?
Accompanied with, because of the Flores Act, when it was changed here a couple of years ago, that extended the UACs in their time in country to whoever was in their family unit. So what that meant was if you were a child and you had a family unit, well, you can't break up the family unit. They have to stay together, but we have to get that child through the system in 20 days. It's impossible. So what that meant was the whole family stays in the country. And, their court date might be 3-4 years out, in which they never made it to, a majority never made it to. So,
do you have any idea of the percentage of those children that were brought over that weren't family? They weren't a part of family unit. They were just being used as recycled or being used in sex trafficking. And
here in Yuma Sector, about a year and a half ago, we were up to about 1,300 children that were being recycled.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just in this sector.
Just in this
1,300 children.
Absolutely. Yep.
Wow. Unbelievable.
It is.
Unbelievable.
It is. And the smugglers who admitted to it admitted to making $1,500 per child.
Wow.
So, just in those cases that we found, they were making that much money. Who knows how many more kids were being used, but.
So to the American people, tell them what don't they know that they should know about what you guys do, about what's going on down here, and maybe why this is so important.
Well, here in Yuma, we went from about a year and a half ago from, averaging 450 to 500 per day to now 10 to 20, and that's our apprehension numbers. So it's a good testament that everything we're doing here is working, with the increased technology, the increased infrastructure. We're able to get a control on what's coming through, and able to apprehend what's coming through. It's very real. We are getting murderers. We are getting, drug dealers. We are getting traffickers. So, anything we can get down here to help stop that is a win for us. And, just for America to know that no matter what administration is in place, every agent is sworn to uphold the Constitution, and we will defend the Constitution no matter what. So that's what we're here to do, and we'll keep doing it. It's 120-degree weather now. It's pretty hot and a little bit humid, but we're out here doing it, and that's what we signed up to do.
Again, on behalf of the American people, I just want to thank all of the agents that are out here. They leave their house. I have so many friends in law enforcement. I know they leave their house not sure if they're going to come home to their family at night. With all of the nonsense we have going on in our media and the culture across this country, the vast majority, the people that love this country, love you guys, and we just want to thank you and uplift you, and we'll let you know that we're praying for your families and for yourselves, that you're protected and you continue to do the work that most Americans don't want to have to do. And it's an honor to be able to be out here with you, sir.
We deeply appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah. There's a huge difference there's a lot of different issues out on the ballot, but when it comes to law and order and the rule of law and protecting America, there is no choice. There's a reason why the Border Patrol Union came out and endorsed President Trump. President Trump stands for the rule of law. If you vote for Joe Biden, you're voting for tearing down this wall, for reopening the borders, for allowing the cartels to control these areas again. And that's really what it comes down to. And I know you can't say that, but I can. And that it's simply about protecting America. We don't have walls here because we hate the people on the outside. We love Mexico. We have them here because we love the people on the inside. This is our family. It's our duty to protect them. That's what these guys are out here doing. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.